Everyone, I want to start by reminding you of something profound, something that we often forget in the hustle and bustle of our daily lives. We live in a world that constantly pulls us in all directions. Our phones buzz with messages, notifications, and alerts. We are told that success, happiness, and validation lie in the approval of others, in relationships, in the constant pursuit of things outside of ourselves. And somewhere along the way, we begin to chase these external things: people, approval, recognition, material wealth. But let me tell you something important. Don't chase people, chase God. Now, I'm not talking about a specific religion or a particular belief system. I'm talking about something much deeper than that. What I mean is, do not chase that which is fleeting, that which is dependent on the unpredictable nature of others or the chaotic environment around you. Instead, chase that which is eternal. Chase the divine intelligence, the source, the flow of universal energy that is inside of you. This idea is rooted in understanding who you truly are. We are not just bodies and minds functioning in a world of external forces. We are consciousness, we are energy, we are potential. The greatest gift we can ever give ourselves is to stop searching outside and begin to look within. When you look within, you're not finding just yourself. You're aligning with the very essence of all that is, all that was, and all that ever will be. When we chase people, we are giving our power away. We are looking for validation, approval, love, or acceptance in others. And while those things are beautiful when they come, they can never be the foundation of our sense of worth. People, by their very nature, are unpredictable. They will disappoint you, leave you, change, or fail to meet your expectations. And in those moments, if your identity is tied to their approval, you will be left empty. But when you chase God, or better yet, when you chase the truth of who you really are, you tap into an infinite source of power and love. That power is unchanging, it is always present. It doesn't matter if the world around you shifts or if people disappoint you. When you are grounded in your true essence, in the deep connection to the universe, you become resilient. You become powerful. You become limitless. So how do we do this? How do we stop chasing external validation and begin to align with the deeper truth of our being? It begins with awareness. Awareness is the key to transformation. Awareness of the thoughts you entertain. Awareness of the stories you tell yourself about who you are and what you're capable of. Awareness of the beliefs you hold that may limit your potential. When you become aware of your inner dialogue, you begin to notice the patterns of fear, scarcity, self-doubt, and self-limiting beliefs that keep you chasing after things outside of you. And with awareness, you can begin to shift. You can begin to focus not on what you don't have, but on the abundance that already exists within you. You start to focus on the flow of energy that surrounds you, that courses through you. You start to realize that the essence of who you are, the energy, the consciousness, is already perfect. You are whole. You are already complete. You don't need someone else to complete you. You don't need their approval to be valid. You don't need to chase anyone's affection, because the deepest affection is already within you. Now, this is not to say we should abandon relationships. Relationships are beautiful. They are opportunities for love, connection, and growth. But relationships, when they are built on the foundation of mutual respect and a shared understanding of each other's divine essence, are an extension of the energy you've already discovered within yourself. They are not the source of your worth. When you chase God, when you align with the infinite intelligence that resides within you, you start to experience life differently. You stop waiting for permission to succeed, to love, to create. You stop worrying about what others think of you. You begin to feel a deep sense of peace, a quiet confidence that doesn't depend on anything external. You align with your true self, and everything else begins to fall into place. The reality is this: what you seek is already seeking you. The love, the opportunities, the success, the relationships, it's all available to you. But the key is to stop seeking it in people and places outside of you. Look within, connect with the divine energy that flows through you, and watch how the universe aligns in ways you never imagined. Don't chase people. Chase the divine essence within you, and in doing so, you'll find that everything you ever desired is already here. You are whole, you are enough, you are divine. We often find ourselves in the pursuit of external validation, looking for approval, admiration, or recognition from others to feel worthy. It's a natural human desire to want to be seen, heard, and acknowledged. However, the moment we attach our sense of self-worth to the opinions and reactions of others, we place ourselves in a fragile position. People's validation is fleeting, and their judgments can be influenced by their moods, biases, or experiences. This makes external validation unstable and unreliable. When we continuously seek approval from others, we become dependent on their perceptions of us, often modifying our behavior, choices, or appearance in an attempt to meet their expectations. This creates an ongoing cycle where our sense of self is based on something outside of ourselves, and we are left at the mercy of others' moods and judgments. It's easy to lose sight of who we truly are when we're constantly trying to mold ourselves to fit someone else's idea of what is valuable or acceptable. True validation comes from within. When you seek approval from within, you tap into a deep and unwavering sense of worth that is not based on anything external. This self-validation is rooted in knowing your own values, strengths, and purpose. You no longer need to chase after approval because you already recognize your inherent value. This shift in mindset allows you to move through life with confidence and peace, knowing that your worth isn't dependent on others, but on your connection with your own truth. We often operate under the belief that we need something outside of ourselves to feel whole, whether it's a relationship, a job, or a specific achievement. This belief stems from the idea that we are incomplete until we attain something external. However, the truth is that you are already whole and complete as you are. Everything you need to live a fulfilled and meaningful life is already within you. The power, love, and wisdom you seek externally are already part of your inherent nature. When you believe that you are incomplete, you create a sense of lack that governs your actions, thoughts, and choices. You may find yourself constantly striving for things outside of yourself, assuming that once you acquire them, you will finally feel whole. But the truth is, this pursuit often leaves us feeling empty, because the sense of incompleteness is not truly solved by external possessions or accomplishments. It's an inner belief that can only be addressed by recognizing your innate wholeness. Recognizing your completeness means acknowledging that you don't need to become someone else or achieve something external to feel worthy. You are not defined by your circumstances, your past, or your achievements. Your worth is inherent. The moment you realize this, a powerful shift occurs. You begin to operate from a place of inner strength and confidence, no longer searching outside for something to fill a void. Instead, you embrace the truth that you are already whole, and from this place you begin to create and live with greater clarity and purpose. This understanding frees you from the constant pursuit of external validation and allows you to fully express your true self. When we chase people, we are often seeking something that they may not even be capable of giving us. We look to others for love, validation, approval, or a sense of purpose, believing that our happiness and sense of worth are tied to their acceptance. But this pursuit can leave us feeling drained, disappointed, and disconnected from our true selves. People, just like us, are imperfect beings navigating their own challenges and uncertainties. They may not always be able to offer what we desire, and their ability to do so is often shaped by their own limitations, experiences, and emotional state. The danger in chasing people lies in the dependency it creates. When we place our worth in someone else's hands, we relinquish our personal power. We tie our sense of happiness and fulfillment to how others perceive us or treat us, and this makes us vulnerable to the unpredictability of human behavior. Relationships, no matter how close, can change. People can leave, change their minds, or fail to meet expectations, and when we depend on them for our sense of self, we are left feeling lost and unsteady. Chasing the divine essence within you instead empowers you to stand firmly in your own identity. The connection with your true self is constant and reliable. It doesn't depend on someone else's opinion or approval. When you learn to chase your inner truth, you align with an unshakable sense of peace and worth that doesn't fluctuate based on external circumstances. Instead of seeking fulfillment from others, you begin to cultivate it from within, which allows you to enter relationships with a stronger foundation, free from the need for external validation. This internal strength allows you to form healthier, more balanced connections with others. People and circumstances are inherently unpredictable, which means that relying on them for your sense of security and fulfillment can lead to disappointment and instability. No matter how much we may try to control or anticipate the actions of others, we cannot fully rely on them to meet our needs or expectations. People change, grow, or even withdraw in ways we cannot always foresee. The circumstances that bring us joy one day can shift, sometimes without warning. This unpredictability can lead to frustration, especially when we place our happiness in the hands of things or people beyond our control. When you place your happiness on the behavior or actions of others, you are essentially allowing them to dictate how you feel. This is a dangerous game to play because it leaves you vulnerable to the whims of those around you. Relationships may shift, and people may not always show up in the way you hope. The very nature of life means that things can change without notice, and if your sense of self-worth is tied to these ever-changing factors, you will find yourself constantly seeking reassurance from a world that is in constant motion. True peace and fulfillment come from recognizing that your stability does not have to depend on what others do or don't do. You can anchor yourself in something much deeper, something constant and unchanging. The more you connect to your inner self, to the eternal and unshakable truth of who you are, the less you will be affected by the external fluctuations of people and circumstances. Your happiness will no longer be dictated by the unpredictable nature of life, but rather by the steady, reliable energy that resides within you. Your true essence is unchanging, regardless of the circumstances or the challenges you face. The external world is constantly shifting, and life can sometimes feel chaotic and unpredictable, but the core of who you are remains constant. This essence is not defined by your job, your relationships, your achievements, or any external factors. It is your inner truth, the part of you that is connected to something greater than yourself. When you understand that your true self is unshakable, you can navigate life with a sense of peace and confidence that doesn't depend on the ups and downs of the world around you. This realization allows you to rise above the temporary emotions, situations, and experiences that might otherwise define your mood or sense of self. External factors, whether it's the success you achieve or the people around you, can change in an instant, and if you tie your identity to them, you are left vulnerable to disappointment or confusion. But when you connect with your inner essence, you tap into a source that is eternal and reliable. This inner truth is not subject to the whims of external events or the judgments of others. When you realize that your essence is unchanging, you stop relying on outside validation to define who you are. You stop seeking approval, recognition, or material possessions as the measure of your worth. Instead, you find your confidence and peace within, knowing that no matter what happens in the external world, the core of who you are remains whole, strong, and untouched. This understanding gives you the freedom to live authentically, unshaken by external fluctuations. You become anchored in your true self, unaffected by the constant changes around you. Awareness is the key to transformation because it is the first step in recognizing what needs to change within you. Without awareness, we move through life on autopilot, repeating patterns and behaviors that may no longer serve us. We may act out of habit, reacting to situations in the same way we've always done, even when those responses no longer bring us the results we desire. Awareness allows us to observe our thoughts, emotions, and reactions without judgment, giving us the opportunity to choose a different path. When you become aware of your thoughts and behaviors, you begin to see the stories you've been telling yourself, the limiting beliefs, the fears, and the doubts that have been shaping your reality. These beliefs, often formed through past experiences or societal conditioning, dictate how you perceive yourself and the world. Without awareness, these beliefs continue to control your actions and limit your potential. But when you bring awareness to them, you create the space to challenge and change them. Awareness is also the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. By recognizing where you currently stand, you gain clarity about the areas in your life that need attention or improvement. This clarity empowers you to take intentional action rather than responding to life in a reactive, automatic way. Awareness also allows you to see the abundance that already exists in your life. Instead of focusing on what's missing, you begin to recognize the opportunities, strengths, and resources that are already present. When you cultivate awareness, you shift from a state of unconscious living to one of conscious creation. You stop being a passive observer of your life and become an active participant in shaping your reality. Through awareness, you align your actions with your true desires and begin to create the life you truly want. Shifting your focus from scarcity to abundance can radically change your perspective on life and open you up to a wealth of opportunities that you might have previously overlooked. Scarcity is a mindset, a belief that there is not enough to go around, whether it's love, success, money, or happiness. This mindset causes fear, stress, and competition, as we are constantly trying to protect what little we think we have and strive for more of what we feel is out of reach. Scarcity makes us believe that we must struggle and fight for everything, that success is limited to a few, and that there is never enough to satisfy our desires. On the other hand, an abundance mindset shifts this perception. It is based on the understanding that there is more than enough in the universe for everyone. It recognizes that opportunity, love, success, and wealth are not finite resources, but are constantly flowing, and there is always room for growth and expansion. When you embrace abundance, you begin to see opportunities where others see obstacles. You stop worrying about what you don't have and start appreciating what you do, which leads to a deeper sense of fulfillment and satisfaction. This shift also allows you to let go of the fear and anxiety that come with believing in a lack of resources. When you believe there is plenty of love, success, and wealth to go around, you no longer feel threatened by the success of others. Instead, you celebrate their achievements knowing that there is enough for everyone. This abundance mindset not only fosters a sense of peace, but also attracts more of the very things you seek, because you are no longer focused on lack, but on the infinite possibilities that exist all around you. Relationships are beautiful, and they hold the potential to bring love, support, and growth into our lives. However, the foundation of a healthy relationship is built on mutual respect and understanding, not on dependency or the need to complete one another. When we rely on others to define our worth, we create an imbalance where one person's happiness becomes too tied to the other's actions, approval, or presence. This kind of dependency can be unhealthy because it places too much responsibility on one person to fulfill all our emotional needs. Instead, relationships should be an extension of the love and strength we already have within ourselves. In a balanced relationship, both individuals come together not because they need each other to feel whole, but because they want to share their wholeness. Both people should have their own sense of self, worth, and independence, while also being open to supporting and growing with one another. When each person is grounded in their own truth, they can contribute more fully and healthily to the relationship. This allows for genuine connection, where both individuals are free to express their true selves without fear of judgment or rejection. It becomes a partnership of two whole individuals, rather than a dynamic of one person seeking to fill an emotional gap. This foundation of mutual respect and self-awareness leads to healthier, more resilient relationships. It allows for growth within the partnership, where both people can evolve without feeling threatened or unsupported. The relationship becomes a space of love and encouragement, not dependency. You give each other the freedom to be yourselves, to pursue your individual passions, and to support each other's dreams. In this way, relationships become an extension of your own inner wholeness, not the source of it. When we allow ourselves to be defined by the opinions and judgments of others, we give away our power. We become overly focused on what others think of us, seeking their approval and validation to feel worthy. However, this external dependence can leave us feeling unsteady, as the views of others are often unpredictable, influenced by their own biases, moods, and experiences. People may praise us one day and criticize us the next. If our sense of identity is shaped by these shifting judgments, we are left feeling uncertain, insecure, and disconnected from our true selves. Your worth should never be defined by someone else's opinion of you. The only opinion that truly matters is your own. When you ground yourself in your own values, beliefs, and inner truth, you build an unshakable foundation. You no longer need external validation to feel confident and worthy, because you already recognize your inherent value. This sense of self-assurance comes from within, not from the approval of others. It allows you to move through life with a sense of peace, regardless of how others may perceive you. When you stop seeking approval and start trusting in your own worth, you begin to live more authentically. You stop altering yourself to fit the expectations of others and start showing up as your true self. This authenticity attracts the right people and opportunities into your life, those who appreciate and value you for who you truly are. When you embrace your own worth, you free yourself from the need to prove anything to anyone. You become empowered to make decisions based on your own desires and values, rather than the judgments of others. What you seek is already seeking you. A powerful reminder that everything you desire is already available to you in some form. Often, we find ourselves in pursuit of goals, dreams, or relationships, believing that we must chase after them tirelessly, as if they are something distant or out of reach. This mindset stems from the belief that what we want is external, something we must go after and attain. However, the truth is that the universe, or the flow of energy, is always in motion, and what we truly desire is naturally drawn to us when we align ourselves with it. When you shift your focus from constantly chasing external outcomes to becoming an embodiment of what you want, you begin to attract those things into your life. The energy you project is the energy you invite into your reality. If you seek love, for example, but operate from a place of scarcity or need, you may find yourself constantly seeking it without ever truly receiving it. But when you embody love, when you already feel whole and complete within yourself, you naturally attract the kind of love that mirrors your own self-worth. The same applies to success, abundance, or any other goal you wish to achieve. Rather than chasing what you desire, focus on aligning yourself with the qualities, mindset, and energy that match your desires. The more you embody the essence of what you want, the more naturally it flows into your life. The process becomes less about pursuit and more about allowing, less about striving and more about receiving. When you trust that what you seek is already seeking you, you begin to operate from a place of knowing and confidence, drawing everything you desire toward you with ease.